Hi there. Welcome to our training session on how to get involved in community science. We're excited to help you get on your way to contributing important data to science, nature, and conservation. It's easy and fun. Anyone can do it, and our individual reports can make a big collective difference. Let's get into it.
Community science is where everyday people and researchers come together through data collection. Whether you're out on a casual walk or kayaking along the coast, there are many ways you can get involved. No experience required. All you need is a smartphone and some curiosity about the world around you. One of the main benefits of community science is its ability to empower people in stewarding their local environment. It fosters a sense of appreciation for the diversity of nature while providing opportunities to make positive change. And it's an essential tool in the field of conservation. When you observe and report, you're helping scientists and those involved in conservation decision-making collect data quickly. This information can be used to track animal populations, record climate change effects, detect the presence of invasive species, and so much more. Keep watching to learn how you can get involved in community science.
iNaturalist is one of the best ways to participate in community science. It's also a great way to learn more about the species living in your area. To use iNaturalist, first download the app, then you'll be prompted to create a profile. Next, be sure to join the Canada-wide project called I Spy and Identify Invasives. By joining this project, you can help with early detection of potential invasive species. On an iPhone, click the Projects button in the bottom right corner, go to the search bar and type in I Spy and Identify Invasives and click Join. Android users can join by clicking on the menu here, selecting Projects, searching for I Spy and Identify Invasives in the search bar. After you join, all observations you make in Canada will be automatically added to this project. Now let's make an observation. I'll show you what it looks like on an Android device first. Start by clicking the large plus button here. You can make a submission by taking a photo, selecting a photo you've taken in the past, recording a sound, or using a previously recorded sound. I'll pick Choose Image this time. Once you have your photo or sound media uploaded, the AI on iNaturalist will try to ID your entry by matching it to thousands of other photo or sound submissions. Select What Did You See button for a list of species that best matches the photo or sound you've uploaded. You can click on the suggested species photo for more information, or even hit this button with the two arrows to compare your photo with the suggested species ID. If none of the species seem to match the one you're trying to look at, try adding more photos or sounds to the observation by selecting the camera icon. Once you've selected the species you feel is the best match, click the checkmark button.
The process is similar on an iPhone. Start by selecting the camera icon labeled Observe, then choose which media type you would like to use. Now let's try selecting camera. Take a picture of your subject and select Use Photo. Then click What Do You See? If no suggestions come up, but you have an idea of what you photographed, you can type the name of your plant or animal in the search bar and select the appropriate ID. Any extra information like where the observation was made can be added into the notes section to help other iNaturalist users recommend a more specific ID for your observation. Once you're happy with the information you've recorded, you can hit the checkmark button or share button to submit.
Next, let's go over how to make a good observation on iNaturalist. One of the most important parts of making an observation of a species on iNaturalist is assigning that observation a species ID. If you don't know what you're recording, make your best guess. The AI feature will give you suggestions. Just keep in mind, it's not always 100% accurate. Even adding a broad category to your observed species like bird, fungi, or plant can help other users find your observations and make suggestions on what they think it might be. If you submit your observation without an ID, it will upload as an unidentified species. Other iNaturalist users can make an ID suggestion by commenting on that post. If you think you're right, you can select Agree below their comment. Giving your observation a broad category helps other users find your submissions more quickly. iNaturalist will only be able to recommend an ID if you are connected to the internet. If you don't have internet access while you're out in nature, you can still submit your observations to iNaturalist without an ID. It will automatically upload when you regain an internet connection. You can go back and edit the observation later. If you prefer, you can take the photo or audio recordings while you're out and then upload them to iNaturalist later. Once your observation has received 3 ID suggestions, it's considered research grade. This means your observation can be included in formal research and studies. How cool is that? For an observation to be considered research grade, it must have the following things: a photo, a date, geographic coordinates, 2 or more suggested matching IDs. There are a few things to keep in mind when making a submission. Include photos of 1 species per observation. If someone suggests a species for observation, it's best not to hit agree unless you're absolutely sure the identification is correct. If you observe a species that has most likely been planted, is a pet, or is in captivity, you can select the button for captive and cultivated species. However, try to avoid including cultivated or captive species, especially during a BioBlitz or when submitting observations under a particular project, as these submissions generally can't be used as data.
Here are a few tips to help you make the most of using iNaturalist. Changing your location privacy settings. When you make an observation from your phone, geographic coordinates will be automatically included and shared publicly. But if you're making an observation from your backyard or from a location you'd rather not share, you can choose to make your visibility settings private. To observe or hide your location, select the Location Visibility button. Open means everyone on iNaturalist can see the exact spot where you found a species. Selecting Obscured reveals your general area without specific coordinates. Selecting Private hides your location altogether. Submitting an observation to a project. To submit your observation to other projects, you can click Add to Projects and select from the list of projects you've already joined. If you want to edit an observation you've made, click the observation you want to change, hit the pencil icon, and then you can add photos and details as needed. If you've accidentally submitted an observation you didn't want to make, simply hold your finger down on the observation you want to remove, and you'll see a trash bin icon appear in the right top corner. Click on it to delete your observation. So let's say you found an invasive species. Now what? In BC, the Report Invasives app sends your observation to a provincial specialist who can then coordinate with local authorities to investigate. First, download the Report Invasives app. Next, select the category you want to report. You can either scroll to see the list of species or type in the species you want to report. Click Report, and you'll be taken to the following page where you can submit a photo, select the area of infestation, confirm your name and email, and leave some comments, which might include describing major landmarks where an invasive species was spotted. Now you're ready to hit the Submit report. Please keep in mind that these reports go to regional land managers who are only able to manage invasive species on public land. To report invasive species on private property, reach out to the property owner or your local bylaw officer to help bring attention to the issue. And there you have it. Now you know how to report invasive species to help stop their spread.
The great thing about participating in community science is that you don't need any fancy equipment, just a camera on your smartphone. The following tips can help you take excellent photos for iNaturalist observations. To get the best photo possible, make sure your camera is focused on the object you're photographing. When you're taking photos of plants, fungi, or insects that are safe to approach, try to get some close-ups. When taking photos of small things or tight close-ups, try to include something for scale, like your thumb, your foot, a pencil, or a coin. When it comes to mushrooms, try and get some images of the underside to show the gills or the folds. This helps others with identification. Just be careful not to break or damage your subject. And most importantly, make sure you stay safe when capturing photos for observations. Be careful where you step and make sure you have secure footing. Stay clear of cliffs or areas with steep drop-offs and stay well away from the edge of water bodies. Always keep a respectful distance from wildlife to ensure the well-being of both you and the animal.
You now know how to make and submit observations and how to take some great photos of your observations. If you're ready to start up your own project on iNaturalist, then this section is for you. To start a project, you will need a computer as projects cannot be created from a smartphone. First, hover your mouse over the Community tab on the menu at the top of the screen. Select Projects from the Community drop-down menu. Next, you'll see a section at the top of the page that features projects happening around the world. You'll see a button that says Start a Project. Click it to get started. Then you'll be directed to a page with instructions on how to start a project. You may want to include a project banner, icon, project descriptions, and some project administrators to help you out. You can click on the View Sample link to get some ideas on what projects can look like. Next, click the Get Started button. Here you'll add information like the project name and description, location, data quality, and date range. Once you're satisfied with all the project details, click Done, and your project is now live. You can make changes to your project anytime if you need to change things such as the project description and dates. Want to get your community involved in a community science-focused activity? Organizing a BioBlitz is a great way to get folks of all ages and backgrounds involved. A BioBlitz is an activity where you can get outside and record what species are in your area. It can take place in a park, on a hiking trail, or even in your own backyard. BioBlitzes can help individuals learn about what species are in a place and offer an opportunity to connect with others while recording species observations. If you want to run your own BioBlitz, be sure to check out our document on our website titled Planning a BioBlitz.
Congratulations, you now know how to take part in community science. Next time you're out for a walk or hike, remember that you can contribute important data that could help detect an invasive species early, give insight on local species populations, and so much more. Thank you for taking part in community science and for helping steward our local ecosystems. Have fun out there.